Corruption in monarchy refers to the misuse or abuse of power by members of royal families, often for personal gain, which undermines governance, erodes public trust, and can lead to societal instability. This corruption manifests in various forms, such as embezzlement of public funds, nepotism, interference with justice, or opaque dealings that benefit the monarchy at the expense of societal welfare. Understanding this concept is crucial because monarchies, though symbolic in some modern contexts, often hold significant influence over political, economic, and cultural domains. The significance of exploring corruption within monarchies lies in its potential to highlight the stark contrast between royal responsibilities and the exploitation of power. This serves as a reminder that unchecked authority can lead to detrimental outcomes for countries and citizens. History has shown how such corruption can lead to the downfall of empires or unprecedented social change. One poignant example is the fate of Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, whose perceived detachment from the suffering of his people, alongside the influence of the controversial Rasputin within the royal circle, exacerbated social unrest and contributed to the Russian Revolution. Similarly, the case of King Leopold II of Belgium is illustrative. His brutal exploitation of the Congo Free State for personal profit resulted in the deaths of millions, cementing a legacy of atrocity tied directly to monarchical corruption. While some defend monarchies as culturally significant institutions that ensure continuity and stability, dissenting opinions argue that hereditary power inherently breeds elitism and unaccountability. Critics point out that history, marred with examples of royal excess and negligence, underscores the need for constitutionally constrained and accountable governance structures. Challenges and controversies surrounding this issue lie in potential cultural and historical biases that affect public perception of monarchy. While some populations view their royal families as integral to national identity, others see them as archaic symbols of inequality. Additionally, corruption may remain obscured by the opulence and tradition surrounding royalty, making it hard to identify and rectify. This introduction to corruption in monarchy sets the stage for exploring the broader implications of royal misconduct. It highlights how unchecked power can influence governance and societal norms, and calls into question the relevance and role of monarchy in the modern age. The ripple effects of such corruption inevitably intertwine with themes of justice, inequality, and governance, encouraging further scrutiny and dialogue around the maintenance of power and privilege. A historical overview of royal scandals offers a lens through which to examine the persistent intersection of power, secrecy, and moral missteps within monarchies. Royal scandals, defined as events or actions involving royal family members that provoke public outrage or disapproval, often reveal unsettling truths about the individuals and institutions traditionally cloaked in reverence. Such scandals are significant because they shake the foundational image of monarchy as a stable and dignified institution, challenging the public's perception of royal families and their legitimacy. Historically, scandals have been instrumental in unveiling the darker sides of royal lives. For example, the financial misconduct scandal surrounding King Louis XVI of France significantly contributed to the monarchy's decline and the rise of the French Revolution. His extravagant spending amidst widespread poverty revealed a disconnect between the monarchy and its subjects, highlighting the destructive potential of royal corruption. Another poignant example is the abdication crisis of King Edward VIII of the United Kingdom, who relinquished the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, a twice-divorced American. This scandal not only rocked the British monarchy, but also sparked debates about personal freedom versus duty in royal life. Opinions on royal scandals vary, but many argue that such events expose the inevitable vulnerabilities and fallibilities of individuals, regardless of their status. Some critics suggest that these scandals are inevitable consequences of the extraordinary wealth, privilege, and power that accompany monarchy, factors that can perpetuate a lack of accountability. However, the topic of royal scandals is not without its controversies. Defenders of monarchy emphasize the charitable work and national stability provided by royal families, arguing that such contributions outweigh individual transgressions. Others might point to media sensationalism, suggesting that the press often amplifies and distorts royal scandals to attract attention, sometimes at the expense of nuanced understanding. This historical overview also influences other aspects of corruption in monarchy by underscoring the recurring theme of secrecy. The revelation of scandals often peels back the curtain on the private lives of royal families, exposing gaps between public image and private behaviors and reinforcing the ongoing debate about transparency and accountability in monarchical systems. Moreover, these scandals can ripple across generations, affecting not only the individuals directly involved, but also the integrity and future perception of the royal lineage. In doing so, they invite broader discussions about reform, modernity, and the monarchy's relevance in contemporary society. Economic and political motivations behind royal corruption represent a compelling facet of the broader topic of corruption within monarchies. Royal corruption typically involves the use of power and influence by members of a royal family to gain financial or political advantages. This issue is critical as it affects not only the integrity and reputation of monarchy institutions, but also impacts citizens' trust in systems of governance. The motivations for royal corruption are often deeply rooted in the desire to maintain wealth, power, and influence. Economically, royals may engage in corrupt practices to subsidize extravagant lifestyles and preserve their financial resources in the face of economic changes or political instability. Politically, corruption might be employed to consolidate power, eliminate opposition, or maintain control over national resources and policies. A relevant example can be seen in the House of Saud in Saudi Arabia, where allegations have persisted regarding royal members using their positions for personal gain, including exploiting oil revenues. These actions often contribute to public discontent and challenges to the kingdom's governance. Another instance is the British royal family's historical connections with colonial exploitation, where wealth was accumulated through morally dubious means during the British Empire's height. Such examples highlight how royal families have used their positions for economic and political gain, leading to broader implications on national and global scales. Support for addressing royal corruption stems from both ethical considerations and practical necessities. Critics argue that monarchies should adhere to the same principles of transparency and accountability expected in democratic institutions. However, challenges exist, particularly given the often secretive nature of royal affairs and their legal immunities within their jurisdictions. Controversies arise around the essential role of public perception and nationalist sentiments that often protect royal figures from criticism. Some argue that royal privileges are justified by historical tradition and the stability they purportedly bring. However, these privileges can also lead to systemic abuses of power, thus calling into question their place in modern governance structures. The economic and political motivations behind royal corruption are tightly interwoven with broader questions of justice, transparency, and effective governance. When unchecked, they may exacerbate inequalities and hinder economic development, influencing public trust in monarchical and state institutions. Understanding these motivations is crucial for both historical analysis and current debates regarding the role and reform of monarchies in contemporary societies. Through scrutiny and reform, the negative impacts of royal corruption can potentially be mitigated, contributing to more equitable and transparent governance. The heading Case Studies, Notorious Royal Families and Their Secrets suggests a focused examination of specific royal families known for engaging in or concealing corruption, providing compelling narratives to highlight the main theme of corruption within monarchies. By examining these stories, we can better understand how power can corrupt and be shrouded in secrecy, undermining the perception of monarchy as a benign historical relic and illustrating the darker aspects of royal rule. This point is significant because it grounds the abstract idea of corruption within monarchy in concrete examples, allowing audiences to see tangible illustrations of how corruption manifests within these age-old institutions. This approach makes the broader topic more relatable and engaging, providing a human dimension to the otherwise complex and opaque operations of royal families. Through these tales of scandal and deception, viewers can grasp the implications of unchecked power and privilege. Consider the British royal family, often in the limelight due to numerous controversies. The late Princess Diana's candid revelations about infidelity and inner turmoil brought public attention to the royal household's hidden complexities shifting the public narrative from respectful reverence to critical scrutiny. Similarly, the Spanish royal family faced significant backlash when King Juan Carlos III abdicated amid financial scandal and accusations of illicit dealings, revealing the vulnerabilities and failures within the institution. Opinions supporting the examination of notorious royal secrets argue that transparency is vital for accountability and maintaining trust between royal families and the public. Investigating these cases encourages meaningful discussions about the relevance and legitimacy of monarchies in contemporary society, especially as democratic values continue to shape modern governance. However, addressing these royal controversies can be fraught with challenges. Royal families often enjoy a protected status that can hinder thorough investigation or public scrutiny, resulting in skepticism about the complete truth ever surfacing. Additionally, there are cultural contexts where monarchies are deeply revered, and probing into their secrets might be seen as disrespectful or destabilizing. Exploring the hidden sides of royalty can provide insights into broader themes of corruption, systems of privilege, and governance. These narratives can serve as catalysts for broader discourse on power dynamics, heritage, and the necessity for reform in traditionally opaque institutions. By intertwining specific case studies with the overarching theme of corruption, audiences are invited to reflect on how these revelations influence perceptions of monarchy and sovereignty in the modern era.